Since this is one of my most anticipated TV shows of 2020, I finally watched it, and now I'm here to talk about it. How is Netflix cursed? What's going on, guys? It's Josh, aka Future Filmmaker, doing out for reviews, where we talk movies, TV, and music, and I am here to give you guys my thoughts on the Netflix new series Curse, which is based on the illustrated graphic novel of the same name by Frank Miller and Tom Wheeler, and stars the likes of Katherine Langford, Devon Terrell, and Gustaf Skarsgård. And before I go into Curse, I'm just gonna say right now, I was pretty pumped to see it because I am a sucker for swords and sandals and also stuff about King Arthur. But what really interested me with this was that it was being told through the eyes of Queen Nimue, and the way they were reworking the story. So it's not a reboot, it's not a remake. We've seen this hundreds of times in Hollywood with King Arthur. But the way they wanted to do it here was through Queen Nimue. So with that being said, let's get into Curse. So, but is the execution good? Is the story good? To be honest with you, this was more than everything I could have hoped for. There are a few issues, and I'll get into it. But before I get into my personal thoughts, in the comment section down below, tell me what you guys think of Curse. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Or somewhere in the middle? Are you familiar with King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Tables and Queen Nimue and all that? What is your favorite interpretation of the King Arthur stories? My personal favorite is, of course, the Black Cauldron and King Arthur Legend of the Sword. And if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when new videos are up. When I post videos, do live streams, or post in my community tab. Otherwise, if you don't hit that bell, you're not going to get every single notification. And if you want to send fan mail and money to my chime, you can DM me or email me privately for either one of those, and I'll get back to you. With that being said, let's get into Curse. Curse is the reimagining of the Arthurian legend told through the eyes of Nimue, played by Katherine Langford, and she's a young heroine with a mysterious gift who is destined to become the powerful and tragic Lady of the Lake. After her mother's death, she finds an unexpected partner in Arthur, who is a young mercenary in a quest to find Mullan and deliver an ancient sword of Excalibur. Over the course of her journey, Nimue will become a symbol of courage and rebellion against the terrifying Red Paladins and their complicit King Arthur. But that alone had me intrigued. That premise alone made for a good show. And I gotta say, this is a pretty good show. In fact, I'm gonna say it's one of the better shows that you should be watching right now, while we're all still dealing with what's going on with the world right now. But let me just get into my first positive. And the first positive I do have to give is to the plot and this new take. Because again, hundreds of times you have seen King Arthur's point of view of the story, but you never get the other way around when it comes to Queen Nimue, who is, I wanted to know more who she was. I wanted to know her story and how she become the Lady of the Lake. And in this show, we do see that. And that is the first big positive that comes to mind. And the way they were able to do it, to take a graphic novel like this and put it onto Netflix, is really creative. It's really inventive, and it's a nice change of pace from what you would usually see with King Arthur. Yes, King Arthur, Lady Lorena, etc. Sir Gawain, Knights of the Round, all of that, I think, it is basically the same, but here you get it differently. And that's what I really do appreciate about Curse, is that they're willing to take the King Arthur story and take it into a different direction. And that is my biggest round of applause I do have to give to, of course, Cursed. The second biggest positive, again, is that the visual aesthetic. The costumes, the production design, the world, and the look of the show. It is very much accurate to its source material and to the old times of the King Arthur stories and the King Arthur legends. Nothing feels fake. Nothing feels like it's misplaced. It's all 100% natural. The costumes and the color palettes and the way this show is shot from a cinematography standpoint, it is well executed. It's very well done. It's beautiful cinematography. You feel like you are in this world with Nimue, with King Arthur, with Merlin and their journeys. And I felt that as I was watching this, because the day on the 17th, I watched the first 3 episodes. I watched the first 3 episodes, took a little nap, and then woke up and then watched the remaining episodes, 4 through 10. And it wasn't that hard of a binge watch, because when one episode ended, I went straight to the next one, because I was hooked, I was intrigued, I was invested into the world and into this character of Nimue, which that leads me into the second next positive, and that is, of course, the characters. Yeah, the characters are well structured for the most part. But I feel like the ones you get the most out of here, besides everyone else, is you get, of course, Arthur himself. The way they made Arthur into this show, they made him as a liar and a cheater, but you get to see his upbringing, what his upbringing was like before we all know who the legend King Arthur was, and I liked his take. I liked what they were going for. It was something new, it was something fresh, it was something inventive. Yes, they did make him black, but that's not a problem with me. So for anyone who says that was woke to make King Arthur black, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna ignore that in the comment section when this is edited and uploaded. Anyways, also Merlin. I like what they did with Merlin here. Yes, he is the Merlin that we know and love, but you find out some interesting twists and turns about him. One of them involving him and Nimue and her mother, which I won't spoil for those who are planning to watch it, because I want to keep it spoiler free, of course. And I liked how they did it. I like what the writers that wanted to do, because you do, of course, you have Frank Miller and Tom Wheeler involved, and also the son of Thomas Wheeler involved in this. So you could tell that they did not want to mess this up from the transition from comic book to screen, because if this was someone else, I don't think this would be as good. This would have been completely tamed. But the most fascinating character development you get of all of them is, of course, Queen Nimue herself. I finally was able to pronounce that name right. Nimue, of course, you know she's going to be the Lady of the Lake. We all know what's going to happen, but you get to know why she is called an outcast, why she is a sorceress, why does she have these powers, and it is explained in the show because she's cursed. So she's not an overpowered character, and she does have great female empowerment. Again, this is female empowerment done the right way. It's not done in a very insulting way in style of Charlie's Angels or Black Christmas, or even Ghostbusters 2016. This is female empowerment done right. And I appreciated that, because after sitting through both Charlie's Angels and Black Christmas back-to-back last year, I just wanted great female empowerment. And I got that here. She's strong-willed, she's determined. Yes, she does bleed. Because she is a human with powers. And that's what I liked about Queen Nimue, is that she may be strong-willed, but also some decisions that she make, it will alter her. It will make her feel different. So with that being said, I do like the characterization of most of these characters. Pretty cool. And I will say that the Red Paladins were pretty intimidating as well. Now we have to get into what I have to talk about. I have to talk about the performances, of course. You can't talk about Curse and not talk about the performances. And this is another reason why I was excited for the show, besides the interesting take, because of Katherine Langford. Katherine Langford is one of the most up-and-coming, she is a star on the rise. She is an up-and-coming actress. That she's been in a lot of things. I thought she was great as Hannah Baker in 13 Reasons Why. So even if you don't like the show, we can all agree or disagree that she was either the best or at least favorite thing about the show. But she was magnificent in last year's Knives Out. Even though her character was kind of the asshole type character in the family that Ana de Armas' character was taken care of, she still pulled off that part very well. And her best part easily is Love, Simon. She was really good in that movie, and I can't wait to see what she does next, because not only I think she has potential as an actress, but she also has potential as a singer. Yes, she did sing a song for this show, which is called I Could Be Your King, which I do like that song. But the problem I do have with that song, of course, is that it feels heavily auto-tuned. But looking at her as Nimue in this show, she pulls it off. She pulls off the accent. You can tell that she is doing the stunts and the physical demands for this character. And she trained for this part, so the training pulls off. She does a great job. She shows emotion when she shows many different ranges as you watch this show. And I liked her chemistry with Arthur, with Devon Terrell. I really liked him. I want to see him in more things, because I thought he was actually really good as King Arthur. Yes, like I said, this is a different take on King Arthur, but he was really good here. Also, I did like the performances of Gustaf Skarsgård as Mullan. I thought he was great too. He really brought his A game too. And then, for all you guys out there who watch the originals and Vampire Diaries and Legacies, there is an actor in here by the name of Daniel Sharman who's in this show, and he does play the Weeping Monk, and he does a good job too. So all the acting is good all around from the rest of the cast. But next up, we do have to talk about the action and the action and the action here. Also, we do have to talk about the action and of course the direction. The action scenes are very well shot. There are some great action scenes, and also this show does not hold back from its violence. This is TVMA for a reason. You do have cursing, you do have some suggestive material, and you do have your blood. So if you are a fan of intense violence, I think you will enjoy that. And all of the episodes for 40 something minutes to 59 to almost an hour I didn't feel bored. I felt pretty insane. I felt pretty satisfied for the most part. Now, I may be praising the show, but I do have a few problems with the show. I'm not gonna say it didn't take. It was boring until it got to her actually getting the sword, because it wasn't boring. It took its time. It had a good pace. It flowed real by. However, there were a couple of characters here that I felt like were underutilized, that didn't get enough to do as I wanted them to. And that is a bit disappointing. It did kind of make this feel a bit heavily emotional. And it did feel like I didn't get 100% attached to a few of the other characters here. Also, there is some wonky CGI, a little bit. The rest of the CGI is great, but when you get to the part with the wolves in the first episode, I know this is a Netflix series and they're not gonna half-ass it, but it kind of just felt, if you would just worked on it a little bit, I think you would have done better. And also some of the blood was a little bit goofy. Not all of it, just some of it. But I never laughed because I was just sitting there invested for the entire time. And my last negative here, I will have to say, there were a couple of things going on here that I easily wasn't explored enough, or I feel like they could expand on in a possible season 2. But if you would have to do a season 2, it would have to be through the eyes of Arthur instead of Nimue, because something does happen to her, and I can't say what. But at the end of the day, I still thought that I was still hooked on Curse. It left me happy, it left me satisfied, and I felt very much entertained by it. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell, get notified when new videos up. Be sure to like this video, comment down below what did you guys think of Curse, no matter what your feelings are. Be sure to share this video, hit that subscribe button and the bell, get notified when new videos are up. Live streams like I did today for Dark Knight, or community posts on my community tab. Otherwise, you're not going to get every single notification. And if you want to send fan mail or send money to my channel, you can email me or DM me privately to do that as well. With that being said, let's get into my overall thoughts. All in all, I thought Curse, it lived up to my expectations. I did have a few problems with some of the writing. Of course, some of it feels a little bit like Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones-esque. And so there are some stuff not being as fleshed out. A few things not being as fleshed out as I wanted it to be, and some characters needing more to do. I still had a smile on my face. I was still enjoying myself. I still like a lot of things in here. I love the tone. I love the atmosphere. I like the interesting take, and I like the performances of everyone, especially the lovely Katherine Langford, of course. And if they wanted to do a second season, I say go for it, but I don't know how it will work unless you do it with Mullan and King Arthur, because Nimue, of course. We don't know. We'll see what happens. But honestly, this is one of the better things to come out of 2020. So with that being said, if you are a King Arthur fan, watch it. But if you're not into King Arthur or Lady of the Lake or this stuff, this is not going to be your thing. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give Curse an Epictastic. So what did you guys think of Curse in the comment section down below? Did you like it? Did you not like it? And I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys keep it cool.